friends. So I decided I wanted to start doing these little chic shorts as a segment for the podcast. Probably mostly without John, just when I have a chance to go deeper into some topics I've already discussed on the not on the podcast, oh my goodness, on the blog. And I just think it would be fun to go a little deeper with you guys, because I try to give the boom, boom, boom of it all in the blog, so you don't have to read forever. I'm trying constantly to get more and more concise, because I know everyone's attention spans are all over the place these days, and you're just looking for information that's going to help you. But I thought I could be more rambly, which is naturally how I am. You guys might not know that. I am the world's worst rambler. For instance, thank God John loves me, but as a joke one time when we went out to dinner for date night, he set a timer to see how long I could go talking without being interrupted, and it was literally 32 minutes or something, which is really embarrassing and really cringy. And he wasn't being mean, but I'm glad that he did it, because I obviously did not like that about myself. I know I have my particular speech style, but I really need to be more cognizant of people's time. I figured, why not? We're starting a podcast anyway. I need more practice on the mic. I'm super uncomfortable doing this kind of stuff. I really thought when I started the blog I was just going to be a blogger, but you know how the world is. I've had to learn how to make reels and have embarrassed myself greatly over on Instagram. So if you're not following me over there, give me a follow and tell me how I can do better. But yeah, I am super excited about stepping outside of my comfort zone. Every time I have with this blog, there has been a great reward on the other side of my fear. Hopefully that inspires someone else to just start whatever they're afraid of starting, because it's gonna start slow likely, but then all of a sudden Sonia Morgan's following you and Paris Hilton is following you, and it's me? I don't know, Paris Hilton blows my mind. She is everything to me. As someone that grew up in the early 2000s, she's the pink print, if you will. I'll never forget that feeling of seeing that notification pop up. So shout out to Paris Hilton. You were the first extremely successful person to ever follow Chronically Chic, and everything changed for me after that. Just the confidence boost alone from getting a follow from you, it might sound silly to certain people, has really been able to help me have confidence to do these things that I'm really scared to do. So let's get into what this actual episode is about today. It is about non-toxic beauty, which I believe was my first or second article that I ever wrote. Because the idea for my blog actually started when I started figuring out all my skin issues. More on that later. Okay, let's talk about the beauty aisle for a second. It's like a jungle out there. Oh my God, so many products claiming to be natural, clean, or non-toxic. But how do you know which ones actually live up to the hype? Your skin is super unique, just like you. What works wonders for one person might break out another. So even stuff that I'm recommending on here might not work for you. You should think about if we have similar skin types. And I also try to give tips for every skin type. But just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. It might be literally a life-changing product for me, and you might see no results from it. Also, remember, you need to give most products time to work. If you're not giving it at least a month, you're not going to see results. That's why it's also crucial to patch test new products and pay attention to if your skin is reacting. Your skin deserves the utmost respect, especially when you're trying to find safe beauty products for sensitive skin. So let's get into the good stuff. Best non-toxic moisturizer for sensitive skin. So on the blog, I recommend avocado oil, and I swear that really is what I use most of the time, especially if I'm too lazy to order whatever else I would get. There are a couple actual moisturizers I would recommend. I did see online a couple people were like, there's no way you really use avocado oil for your moisturizer. I really do, but I also do use other moisturizers sometimes. I really like the Dr. Perricone. Is that how you say his name? I don't even know. Sorry. Or her name. I actually don't even know. I need to look that up. On the next podcast, we'll go over that. Anyway, they have a firming moisturizer that I really, really love, the one from Juice Beauty, which I'm not sure if they are just out of stock or if they have turned into their CC cream. I had mentioned on a reel on Instagram recently, I'm almost out of my Juice Beauty tinted moisturizer. So now I need to look into if they've completely replaced that product or if it's just out of stock, because I love it. I would think that the CC cream would only be better. I've never been let down by a Juice Beauty product. Just got to figure that one out and make an order. But yeah, avocado oil, if you don't feel like spending money or you're like between products and don't have anything else and your skin is dry, it's amazing. It's really good for your hair too. It's packed with vitamins A, D, E, some fatty acids, leaves it super soft, and obviously no harsh chemicals. So it really is like a really good choice for sensitive skin types. You can use it as a moisturizer, an eye cream, a hair treatment, even to remove makeup. And it's, I think my hairdresser was recently telling me it's one of the better oils to use in your hair, because I was using coconut oil before. I use coconut oil everywhere too. I really love coconut oil. She told me that avocado oil has the like highest heat point or smoke point of all the cooking oils. So if you're gonna use oil at any point before using hot tools, try avocado oil, because it's not gonna get all smoky and burn your hair as much. So yeah, people don't honestly believe that I really do use avocado oil as much as I say I do, but I really do. You might see me use other moisturizers and stuff. I like that much better for traveling. I usually get mini moisturizers for that reason, and I also like to try out things before, if like I can have, it's not for free, I still have to buy avocado oil, but it's obviously a lot more cost effective to just use something you have in your house over than, you know, $100 moisturizer, a $25 moisturizer, a $10 moisturizer. If I don't have to spend money, I am not going to. So if that's what it takes to get you guys to believe me, is for me to admit that I'm pretty cheap, I will admit that I am pretty cheap. I like to save a buck when and where I can. I will be honest with you. That's also why when I figured out with my dermatologist, well, we were trying to figure out everything going on. She stripped me back to literally nothing. She wouldn't let me use anything on my skin at all, not even hot water. I had to wash my face with just cold water twice a day for, I believe, 2 weeks. And then she allowed me to try once a day cleansing with the Vanna Cream Cleanser in the morning, still with cold water. Worked great. Loved it. Super cheap. Super effective. Super clean. Dermatologist approved. And then we eventually figured out my nickel allergy and things like that were affecting my skin. And I was allowed to go back to pretty much most kinds of skincare if I wanted to, and makeup. But I still haven't, that was what? 2 to 3 years ago? Oh my god, it's gonna be 3 years next month. Time is going by so fast. Oh my goodness. So yeah, so it's been almost 3 years now, and I have not bought another cleanser since then. I think I have an oil cleanser that I sometimes have been using, but that's honestly way older than I probably want to admit. And I got it from Poosh, and it's very decadent. It's I think you pronounce it tonic, like tonic, but it's like TAHNYC. That's a good one too, but it's like expensive. I think it's over $40. And I really have nothing bad to say about it except the fact that I don't enjoy spending money where I don't have to, if I don't have to. Sorry, I got distracted for a second. I forgot what I was talking about. And that's going to be the funniest issue I have with this podcast. And you guys are probably going to get really annoyed with me. But, like, yes, I have ADHD, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. I can bounce around like no one else. So maybe I'll have to have some sort of live stream sessions where you guys can keep me on track in the chat. I don't know. But anyway, back to Vanna Cream. It's perfect for anyone like me that doesn't want to splurge all the time. If you happen to be allergic to lanolin, it's lanolin-free, paraben-free. Yeah, skincare doesn't have to cost a fortune. It doesn't have to be flashy. You can get it from Walmart or wherever you want, or Amazon is where I usually do all my shopping on Amazon. So definitely try Vanicream if you're overspending way too much money on cleanser and you have sensitive skin. It's perfect. It doesn't leave your skin feeling stripped or dry either, and that's like my biggest concern with skincare stuff, especially cleansers. So let's get one thing clear. Clean beauty is kind of like the Wild West of marketing. There's no official definition or certification that means safe for everyone. So if a brand slaps on words like natural, non-toxic, or eco-friendly, your first thought should not be, oh, this must be perfect for me. Some natural ingredients can irritate the hell out of sensitive skin. A lot of lemon oils and things like that, which it's like, oh, lemon, nice, smells great. But like, no, it's an acid. Not that acids are all bad for the face. It's just you don't want to rub a lemon all over your face. Think essential oils, certain fragrances, even from plants, certain botanical extracts that sound all fancy but are actually like skincare saboteurs. When you see a full list of good for you ingredients, don't just assume it's good for your skin. A good way to think about it is with my low nickel diet, I'm not supposed to have avocados, although yes, sometimes I do indulge in some guac. It's not the type of thing that makes me have like an allergic reaction or anything. I just might get a little patch on my face if I eat the whole freaking thing. But now that I know my triggers, I can have a little bite or two of certain things, especially it's like someone else around me is having it. But anyway, I can't have avocado. I can have avocado oil. Interesting, right? Same with coconut. I can have coconut oil, but I'm not supposed to have like actual shredded coconut, coconut milk, coconut water. All of those are high in nickel, but for some reason coconut oil and avocado oil aren't. So just because avocados and coconuts are healthy for most people doesn't mean it's the best for me. But also things derived from healthy things can be perfectly fine, like coconut oil and avocado oil, or they could be harmful to you or others. So you just have to kind of think about it with a little nuance. Your job is to become the expert on your skin's quirks and triggers, not blindly trusting labels. And if you're allergic or sensitive to something, trust me, your skin's gonna let you know. I am working on a tracker that I really wish I would have had when I was trying to figure out what was wrong with my skin, because we went from everything from which is great actually, because it made us, this whole thing kind of is what sparked Chronically Chic too, is I had to clean up our entire lifestyle and home. Started with bed sheets and detergents and the household cleaners and my diet and my makeup and just eliminating honestly everything, which was really good for me mentally, because I used to be the type of girl that could not go out without makeup. I had to have my nails done all of the time. My hair had to be done, whatever. Like, I had to have the newest clothes. I was super annoying in my early 20s and teenage years. And now I'm gonna be 28 next month, and oh my God. Anyway, I now can run errands without makeup and a messy bun and in leggings and whatever, and I don't care. I haven't gotten my nails done, I don't think, since John had me get them done when we got engaged, and before that I hadn't gotten them done in a real long while, which some of my old friends would be like, what do you mean Casey doesn't have long pointy stiletto nails? Like, I was that girl. And now I'm not so much doing like rainbow cut creases and like feathered lip liner and really heavy beats every day, which I still sometimes do for fun. Like, I've always loved playing with makeup, and there's nothing wrong with that. It just took me a while to find colorful and like fun stuff again that I actually can use. But in that meantime, I actually was able to like recalibrate how I look at my face and like try to just wear makeup that was just flattering for my face and not so much trying to make up for any insecurities that I had. And it's a lot more fun now. I can't really explain it. If you're not on the other side of it, you don't think you could get there. I know a lot of girls that have felt like me that said I could never go out without makeup, and that makes me like sad, because there's nothing wrong with either. Like, there's nothing wrong with going out only with makeup, but if you feel that you you can't without it, that makes me sad, because I'm not the most beautiful thing in the world, trust me. If I had the money, I'd be getting a few things done. Trust me. Nothing crazy. I don't want, like, here's a good example. My entire life, I wanted a nose job. I always got made fun of for my really big nose. It's going to happen on the internet at some point. I cannot believe like, with the way the internet is, that it hasn't happened already, and I'm just kind of, like, honestly setting it up for myself so it hurts less later. I don't know. But then I lost my dad. And if you know me personally or have seen pictures I've posted of me and my dad before he passed away, I look just like him, which is funny. I was just watching the Skinny Confidential podcast yesterday where Sylvester Stallone's daughters, who were so lovely, by the way, were on the podcast talking about how they hate when someone says they look like their dad. And I totally get it, because the first time I looked at them, I was like, oh my gosh, they look just like their dad. And I've gotten that my entire life. So when they lamented about it, I completely understood what they meant. But if those girls ever happen to listen to this, which I don't know why they would, but if you ever happen to listen to this, not in a sad, morbid way, just know one day you'll be really glad that you look so much like your dad, and you'll see him in the mirror. And you'll know that he's a part of you, and I feel much differently about parts of my face that as a teenager and early in my 20s, I hated. I always wanted to get a nose job until I realized I still wanted to look like my dad when I looked in the mirror. And that was a few years ago now. Then there was another part of it where it was like, okay, I'm stuck with this, but I still don't see any beauty at all in my nose. And a lot of days it's really hard, especially if I catch myself in a video or something, like laughing. My nose does this thing where it like points down all crazy and my nostrils go up and get huge, and it makes me really insecure. Then, if you guys don't know, I'm a huge fan of Lady Gaga. And we're both Italian. And I think you can tell by our faces. Like, we have the, like, Roman Italian nose, you know? And she's pretty much one of the only celebrities I've really ever seen have a nose like mine. And I've always found her so beautiful. And then something in the last few months, I've been watching a lot of her most recent concerts. And she's just so freaking beautiful, right? And I know that. And most people in the world know that. Some people are really cruel online and think that they can speak on people's looks at all. And the next time, if anyone that's ever done that to someone is listening, next time you think to do that, please don't. It doesn't help. They likely already are insecure about whatever you're about to call out. It helps no one, and it really shouldn't be making you feel better about yourself. So let's just get that straight. But anyway, then there are wonderful people on the internet who I see a lot on Twitter, like, love her nose. Like, they talk about how beautiful her nose is. And I'm like, well then, if people out there might say horrible things about her nose, they're gonna say it about my nose. And that's fine. I really don't care about those people's opinions, because a good-hearted person that wasn't hurting deep in their soul wouldn't feel the need to tell me how they feel about my nose or Lady Gaga's nose. But the people in the world that find her nose beautiful will likely find mine beautiful too, I hope. But it's hard. It's different too. You know what I mean, though? Like, it doesn't matter at the end of the day what other people think of my appearance. And I'm glad that I'm getting over that in the first place. But losing my dad and Lady Gaga and her, like, great fans on the internet both are a part of me no longer wanting to get a nose job. That doesn't mean I might not want filler or, like, there's this, like, non-surgical nose job option that I'm looking into, and I don't really want to change the shape of my nose anymore, but I might ask, I would love, if there are any, like, plastic surgeon or, like, med spa techs listening to this, I have questions, because I'm wondering if it's possible to somehow, like, make the thing not happen when I'm laughing, so my nose kind of just doesn't go crazy in the nostrils, if that makes sense, and it could just kind of freeze them where they are without then making my face look like too, I don't know how to explain it. I would love to discuss this with someone that actually knows what they're talking about, and I have fully proved my ADHD so far by I don't even know how I got there. So yeah, two good things that came out of me having to go through my entire life to figure out my skincare issues and then ending up cleaning my entire life giving me the idea for Chronically Chic, giving me confidence about things I can't change, and giving me confidence about things I could change. I'm a completely different person than I was before I started this journey. The rash situation went on for like 5 or 6 years. The solution situation now, I can't believe are going on like 3 years. I'm getting my timelines all messed up. It's like wild to me how fast time is going by. It's been more than 5 years since it all started because me and John still lived at our first apartment when my rash broke out for the first time. So that had to be like 2018. How many years has that been? I'm gonna throw up. Ugh. But yeah, to figure out everything in my life and figure out better solutions, I had to get real about the choices that me and John were making for our life and for our home. So I pulled every product in my cabinet out and started fresh, and I would not recommend doing that. Like, I literally just went from room to room and got rid of everything and started from scratch. And if that works for you, you can definitely do that. But it was expensive, it was stressful, it was a lot of back and forth, it was a lot of, it was this, and then it was like, oh wait, no, it wasn't. But it could have been this, so that's why I'm working on this tracker. If that's something that you guys would want and need, I have a pretty good breakdown so far, I think, of what it needs to be, but I might be missing a few things because obviously I might not have the same skin issues that you're having. Maybe you want to track more like acne than a rash. So tell me exactly the issues that you have with your skin that you want to try to track to figure out the root source of, and I'll add it to this template or tracker that I'm going to make downloadable on the site. But anyway, here's how I rebuilt my routine without feeling I was making a $1 trillion investment or choking on all the jargon out there. $1 billion investment, $1 million investment, maybe. $1 trillion, no. And I don't want you guys to do that if you don't have to. Don't do it the way I did. Don't do it all at once. Or if you're not going to listen to me, I'm still here for you at the end of the day. Step 1, ditch anything with sketchy fragrance or parfum that you can't source. A lot of the companies that you should be spending your money on are now literally outright telling you exactly where everything's coming from because there's no regulations on fragrance. It could be hundreds of different chemicals that are not good for you. And then you want to check into the essential oils in your life and how you're using them. I have an article on essential oils. They can be good and they can be bad. And it also is, once again, one of those things that it depends on you and your sensitivities and allergies and things like that. Step 2, simplify. Go back to basics. Do just a gentle cleanser, just a simple moisturizer, and then maybe a toner, but make sure it's not stripping. You want hydration. Step 3, patch test and watch it like a hawk. I started testing new products in a tiny patch of skin for at least 3 days before slapping it all over my face. And that is one of the things I learned from my nickel allergy testing is you'd think, oh, if I'm gonna have a problem with this foundation, I'm gonna know the first time I wear it. During the nickel test, I had to go back multiple days to see if I was having a reaction. And it can take, apparently, up to 5 days from touching nickel before your skin might react. So that's why I was messing myself up so much, trying to figure out what skincare and makeup products I could use, because I'd buy something new, test it, and I'd be like, heck yeah, I can use this. Or even if it wasn't buying something new, even if I was just testing makeup I already had one by one, I would test it, not have a reaction, and then think it was fine and keep using it. And then when I tried something new, I would think if I had the reaction, it was from that. And maybe sometimes it was. But I'm just saying, this is why I think we need a tracker in our lives. That would have saved me from a lot of repeated disasters. So step 4, don't jump ship after one use. Some products need a bit of time for your skin to adjust. But if irritation does happen immediately or keep worsening, dump it. That's clearly the problem. But yeah, that approach would have helped me stop the guessing game a lot sooner and gave my skin more of a fighting chance to heal, which is doing much better these days. But if you haven't seen those pictures of how bad I can't believe John used to have to look at me the way that I looked. I literally was peeling like a lizard or a snake in the sun, or I don't know. It was awful. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Something no one tells you is switching to clean beauty isn't just about products either. It's about your mindset and your habits. Because at first, you're going to try to be perfect. Stop trying to be perfect. Your skin won't magically transform overnight, and chasing the latest miracle product is only going to lead to disappointment and low funds. Second, focus on consistency. Use your routine daily even when your skin feels fine. Trust me, that's how you build real, lasting results. Third, listen to your skin. It's not a wall you can just paint over with the moisturizer and a foundation and hope it looks better. If your skin is screaming, pause, reevaluate, and don't be afraid to throw out the rules you hear online, even if they're from me. Trust your gut. Just do research before trying anything extreme. You don't have to even... You should actually be looking at multiple resources, not even just me. Don't just trust anyone out there on the internet. Lastly, patience is your new best friend. Your skin cells turn over like every 28 days or so. That means even the best products are going to take time to show up. So don't get suckered into switching routines every week because some influencer said so. Even me. But that's the thing. I try not to do, this is my new routine. This is my new routine. Every once in a while, you might see me make a switch in my routine. But I'm pretty much always going to be doing, well, not always forever. I don't know. I could find much better things. But I'm not always out there searching for the next best thing. If it works, it works. If I hear of something that sounds really interesting and I need a new product, I'll try something new. But like, I'm kind of over the experimentation part of my beauty journey. I am exhausted of the research and the trying things and the 50,000 step routines. I really just want that thing from, what's that movie with Bruce Willis, and it's like the Chanel thing. I don't understand why no one's made that yet. No one steal that idea. As soon as I get some shmoney, Chronically Chic is gonna try to come out with that. I went from being that girl that woke up at 4 or 5 in the morning to do a full face for literally just school, and then like I worked at Sephora. I had a YouTube channel for a while just doing makeup tutorials. It was literally my entire life, and I'm just so over it. I'm over it. I did it for all 10 years, more than 10 years. I'm over it. I want simplicity now. This was my first attempt at a solo podcast. I don't think it's the best example of one out there. I hope that it was at least somewhat helpful and enjoyable and something you guys would keep wanting. So for the solo ones, I think I'm gonna go through my already existing blog topics, like I said, and dive deeper there. But if you guys want me to talk about anything in particular or have any questions or are curious about something more in my personal life or whatever like that, if you want to hear me talk about, hit me up wherever you follow me, whether that's here, Instagram, Twitter. If you go to my blog, there's a contact form. You could send me an email, Casey@chronicallychicblog.com. That's KACIE@chronicallychicblog.com. I love hearing from you guys. I'll give you a shout out on the next episode. If you've got your own horror stories or tips or wins or questions, you can hit me up on Instagram too at chronically_chic_. And remember, skin health is a marathon, not a sprint. Keep it simple, keep it real, and don't let the beauty industry gaslight you. You got this. Catch you next time, guys. Love you.